Yeah, greetings to the family. I was telling you about doing something about the elements. The first study, I will possibly go beyond that. Yeah, the first 30 elements on the periodic table. How do we see them? Ukuskunu, it's not about just reading it and memorizing it in your head. How do you see the elements? You see what I'm saying? How do you even have access to them in Ghana? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna take my time and take you through all the elements. And then right after that, you'll be able to do something for yourself. And then along the way, we will be running a couple experiments. We will be running some experiments. Yeah, so let us start. Now, we are talking about the first element and the eighth element. Today, we are doing the first and the eighth element. That is a hydrogen and oxygen. We're talking about hydrogen and oxygen. Where do you get hydrogen? Oxygen is very common. Now, let us go on. So, we have hydrogen. This is a hydrogen is the first element, and oxygen is the eighth element. 0 or O is the symbol for the eighth element, and H is the eighth alphabet, but it is the symbol for the first element. So it's talking about H8O8. You see what I'm saying? Now, you already know that. Now, hydrogen is more like oxygen, but hydrogen is very light. Oxygen is heavy. Hydrogen is very light. Oxygen is heavy. Now, hydrogen, oxygen, na yɛde produce nsuo, and the nsuo no is your life. You see what I'm saying? And now we are now could do hospital. Na yamao emframa, because emframa no ene wonkwa. Until the uses of oxygen you use no hospital. Egu tank ni muna doctor no the mask na she wano. And also you can use bag valve mask in the hospital, or nasal cannula, or rebreather mask, whatever. Oxygen is very, very useful in all the engines or car engine. You use oxygen. Without oxygen or car no engine intimate running. You use the oxygen for airplanes and all of that. You use the oxygen to create fire, and every engine is running with fire. And the fire is for welding. Oh yeah, well, it might show how to set up a welding. You can create your own welding torch. And I will Ghana mom large compound area. No, I will teach you how to set up your own welding torch. You need the oxygen and argon. Argon, so you talk about argon. It's a gas. Open so a welder. Welders need use gases be to weld. We will talk about that. But oxygen is useful in welding. Now, hydrogen, and so you use their welding. Hydrogen is also for welding. Hydrogen can be used for hydrochloric acid, which of course we will do experiment about this. And it's also used in the production of ammonia. And hydrogen is also used in the production of bombs. We will do all these experiments. Now, oxygen is the eighth element, and the eighth is eternity. And eternity means life. And the oxygen self represents your life. Because at any point in time, you will need to breathe in oxygen. The oxygen that you breathe in is your life. Inipa ohome a ohome na oxygen. Ohome ne da obeda wentimi a ohome bi no. You are gone. Nti Bible no wɔsi nyame de nkwa home gu nipa mu ɛna enipa bɛyɛ wɔ krate asefo wankasa nyame de battery ehye nipa mu ɛna nipa nkwa home no ɛyɛ oxygen nti sɛ wɔyɛ adwuma na sɛ wɔbra wɔgye wa home wate ase efiri sɛ wɔgye wa home a wonya ahomeka wate ase no nti yabenya hydrogen oxygen together forming water, and water is life, Charlie. You cannot do anything without water. Now, how do you obtain hydrogen gas? Hydrogen ubenya ibi ewo oil anwa anase yesi Ghana se yesi enya oil. You can extract hydrogen out of that coal and natural gases. Now we will do experiment here. Hydrogen or more experiments. Hydrogen equita more experiments. Now pay attention to this. Insuo bia isi jaswa ehuru no. Insuo bi isi jaswa ehuru no. Bubbles bi efri insuo no mu eba bonten. Udi insuo isi jaso na udi insuo isi jaswa insuo na ehuru no bubbles efri mu eba bonten. Now, bubbles no eba bontene no is one of the first stages or the early stages of hydrogen. Wodi nsuo si just na heat pa na intutuo na wo nsuo nani na ekro no. Intutuo bi e wo nsuo nani a ekro no. Aye gas a ekro no. Ema ense hydrogen light. Ena wa very very light. Oxygen heavy. So we didn't see you go bottle money, so we shake no sa bubbles na ewani no. And I'm saying so you know when yam fancy just no. Bubbles no heavy, oxygen. Na emomu no ensuo no enya si jaso na ehuru bubbles wa we didn't see jaso na ehura. Bubbles be a free mobile is considered hydrogen. Almost of the time no kind of hydrogen peroxide or hydrogen. What you say? Now, if you really want to do experiment in your house, ubetime de anwa esi jaso. Wo de anwa esi jaso a ehuru pa no na ase bubbles bi wom. The entra utime extract hydrogen efri anwa mu no ene se anwa no it is very difficult for air to get inside the oil. Any air that is left inside the oil is very light. It's very difficult for you to get air inside oil. The any time you get air in oil, it's very few, like a small quantity, but it is the abundant element in our system. Now, anything I want here two of this and one of that to get water. Now, hydrogen is very, very light. Sometimes students get confused between hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen is very light. Hydrogen is more like oxygen. But the hydrogen is very light. And the oxygen is very, very heavy. It is the own ones we share. Na ensuo na ekro no entutuo na ekro no sa wokata ade no so a wobebie ade no so no na entutuo no bi adane ensuo ewo chance tire no ase anse ensuo na wo no na adane entutuo na nka ese ekro no wa ma na nko wodi ade no kata so no ntino asan capture entutuo no back with time no entutuo no asan condense a form back to water. Ubie ude nkwan si jaso a nkwan na wo ye no toda ubie nkwan no so na ensuo e chance tire no so what you say because in intutuo na enka epia kro no e na empia nkwa asan form ensuo what you say enti na de tie no yeah enti we are very 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 simple enti hydrogen there, oxygen there is common. The air that you breathe in every day is oxygen. There is nothing to worry about that. But hydrogen also. Of course, we also talk about nitrogen. Nitrogen is also in that level. We will talk about nitrogen as well. But we have to know, say, me pese unya difference no. Eta ABT students. Me pese difference na eta ABT students no. Hydrogen is very light and oxygen is heavy and one fast for show trim. With the hydrogen no etimi well then would produce hydrochloric acid. What you say? Ammonia ye design produce bomb because and ammonia cry a bomb pa me uni hanka memo one day memo ammonia a bomb pa. What you say? Sa enema we say no explosive we say no ultimate hydrogen eka. What you say? Enunti na de tie mema teachings na nyalo me pese very short. No what you say? You know how it is and how to actually see hydrogen in your home. Ultimate the anwa esija so the experiment. Bon say ntutu bi e kro no say wo de wutiri kofa so a wutiri anya ya wutiri nyina bebom. What yes sensu yohura witimi de wutiri kura no toda na wo de witimi de wutiri ekofem na wo ho ato ba sanwa bi si jaso na ehura na wo de wutiri kofa so wutiri anya wutiri nyina bebom hydrogen and very light sometime kwanu you don't unhu say wo ho on say toda witimi de omo chibo fruit no anwa ne timi hiti sa na say ade bi ekowiem ba umfa wani hu ase wo hu sa ade bi ekowiem ba unhu ne ye hydrogen ekro. What you say? Enenti na de tie no me de mubisia me say ibisia ye bisia elements ni nyina. Of course we talk about aluminium and we talk about aluminium and all of that. Aluminium is the 13th element. Aluminium, we talk about all of that. I love you. This is the moment of truth and natural wisdom. Yeah. Until we'll be doing more of this because me can't want some say menya audio be or melano na me change my phones no be nti free so koi. Yeah. And nti menya audios be near the from some of the boys, you know. We will talk about that. I love you all.